The new mechanic, called Adventure Effects, have been announced for Pokemon Go for Origin Form Dialga and Palkia's signature moves Roar of Time and Spacial Rend, respectively. These moves will also be usable as attacks, but it is the new mechanic of Adventure Effects here that are game-changing, so let's go over what they do, and then I'll give you some more details about this update. Looking at Palkia first, its signature move of Spacial Rend will expand the distance at which you see wild Pokemon spawn in on the map. To activate it, you will have to use 5,000 Stardust and 5 Palkia candies to get 10 minutes of expanded distance. You can then add extra time by hitting the use button again and add up to 2 hours of additional time every time you hit use, for a total of up to 24 hours. The cost, however, stays the same at 5,000 Stardust and 5 Palkia candies for every 10 minutes. So for 2 hours, that is 60 candies and 60,000 Stardust. Then we also have Dialga's signature move of Roar of Time, which will be activated in a similar manner, costing 5 Dialga candies and 5,000 dust, but will last for only 6 minutes for every 5 candies and 5,000 dust, but again, for a total of up to 24 hours. So for 2 hours, that is 100 candies and 100,000 Stardust. But its effect is better in my opinion. It will pause the timer on any Incense, Daily Adventure Incense, Star Pieces, or Lucky Eggs. They don't mention Meltan Boxes here, however Meltan Boxes are treated like Incense in Pokemon Go in many ways, so I'm guessing that it will probably work for that as well, but knowing Niantic, who can say? Now, as you might be thinking, and as Niantic is showcasing in this video here, this changes the game for hunting Galarian Birds. Being able to pause the timer means you can have up to 24 hours of daily adventure incense, but it comes at a high cost as Dialga candies are not easy to come by. Of course, you can also turn rare candies into Dialga or Palkia candies, but those aren't super common either. You probably wouldn't want to do 24 hours for Dialga or Palkia because you can't grind for that entire time. But for Dialga, if you're going to go out and grind for 2 to 3 hours, this means you could potentially activate it and have daily adventure incense on the entire time you're out grinding and get multiple encounters with those Galarian Birds. Unfortunately, that will come at a fairly high cost, making this an interesting change for free-to-play players, for those who only spend a little bit of money on the game, but a huge game changer for those who spend a lot of money on the game, meaning this is more of a pay-to-win feature unless we see Palkia and Dialga coming out more often in raids after this, which I highly doubt. There are a few other things you need to know about this update though, so let's go over the details a bit more. First, in Niantic's words, choosing either Diamond or Pearl for the tour will affect your chances of getting Dialga or Palkia that know their signature moves. So it's not really clear if your choice will guarantee that one will have the move and the other won't have it, or if you just have a chance at both having the move and it increases your odds for one, or the worst option where you only get one of either Palkia or Dialga that has the move and you don't get the other one at all. It's not entirely clear, and I really hope they clear this up because we just can't be sure based on this wording. But the best strategy might be to partner up with a friend. One of you choose Diamond and then the other one choose Pearl. Then you could potentially each get 2 with the signature move and then trade them, and then each of you will end up with a Dialga and Palkia that have the signature moves. And of course, if you're going to do this, you might want to wait for a guaranteed lucky trade so that you can get decent IVs. However, it might also be the case that you only get one Dialga or Palkia with the signature move and you won't have a spare to trade. Honestly, the lack of clarity here is not unexpected, but it is frustrating. So ultimately, we will have to wait and see, and perhaps even demand clarification from Niantic, as it could greatly affect our choices and strategies of gameplay for the event. Also note here that if you do not have a ticket for the LA Tour or the citywide add-on and you remote into these LA Tour raids, you will not be able to get shiny Dialga or Palkia Origin form, and they will be guaranteed not to have the signature move. So us non-ticket holders will have to wait for the global tour to be able to get the shiny forms and the signature moves. It also says in the announcement that at this time, the move will not be TMable, so you will not be able to use an elite or a regular TM to get the move. Presumably that might change after the global tour happens, because I think they're just trying to prevent people from remoting into those LA Tour raids, getting a Palkia or Dialga, and then TMing the move on. But after the global tour, of course, we will have all had a chance to get a Palkia or Dialga with the signature move. So hopefully then it will be TMable, although it might just be that they're leaving the option open for the future and it's never TMable. Who knows? They also hint at more adventure effects coming in the future, so it could be interesting to see what they do with that there, but hopefully they implement it in ways that are more accessible to all players. I've also got some stats for you here on the Origin forms and the signature moves. Now, each Origin form here does have a higher max CP than its counterpart. For Palkia, it sees an increase in attack by 6 and in defense by 8, with stamina staying the same. For Dialga, it sees a decrease in attack by 5, but an increase in defense by 14. 14, which could actually improve Dialga by improving its bulk, but we'll have to see if that's the case, and if so, by how much. And their signature moves, Roar of Time and Spacial Rend, can also be used as attacks, of course. The stats for each are currently on screen. Overall, I do think the adventure effects are an interesting mechanic to bring into the game, but as it stands, you're going to need a lot of Palkia or Dialga candies and a lot of stardust to make use of them. But I'm more interested to know what you think about this new mechanic and how it's been implemented. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this video useful, consider hitting the like button and subscribing for more Pokemon Go news, tips, and live stream. If you want more right now, check out one of the videos on screen. Happy hunting, and we'll see you in the next one, friends.
I've got something incredibly funky.